All right, today I'm going to show you how to create a shared calendar that can be embedded on your Google Sites website. To do that, first you want to log into your Google account. You can see here I'm logged into my district account, and I'm going to use the app button here to navigate to my calendar. Once I'm within my calendar, I'm going to take a look over here on the left side. Many times you'll have additional calendars already appearing over here, or other calendars that you're shared with. If you use Google Classroom, you may find you have a lot of calendars over here. You can just click on the little X's next to those calendars if you want to remove those. They many times become a little bit distracting if there's too many of them. My next step is I'm going to go ahead and click on the little plus symbol here next to where it says add a coworker's calendar. I'm just going to click on the plus and it will give me the option for new calendar. I'm going to go ahead and name this after my team, and for this I'm going to call it Team Demo, and then click Create. You can of course add a description if you want to. Now once it creates this calendar, it's going to go ahead and put me right into the settings for this calendar. But for the purposes of this demo, I'm going to actually pull myself out of the settings so that you can see how to get back into those settings if you've already created this calendar. You can see right here, Team Demo has been now created, and I'm just going to use these three little buttons over here. Click on those, and I can go into Settings and Sharing, and brings me right back to that same place I just was a second ago. Now, if I scroll down here, there's really only two things I need to change on here. The first thing I want to do is I want to check mark Make Available to the Public. Now, it gives you a big warning sign here, and it does tell you that everyone's going to be able to see your calendar. But just as a confirmation, this is only your team demo calendar that you just created, or your team particular calendar you're creating. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK on that because I want my parents and students to be able to see this calendar. And then the second step is I'm going to add all my teammates here. Now, for the purposes of this, I'm going to go ahead and add my other email address, one of my other email addresses, so I can kind of bounce between my own calendar here and then this sort of pseudo teammate. And I want to make sure that this teammate can make changes to events. You can also add the ability to manage sharing so that your teammate can also add additional teammates. So I'm going to go ahead and give them full access since I trust this teammate. I'm going to go ahead and click Send. And that's going to do two things. It's going to send an email to your teammate, and it will also add this team demo calendar to their page, to their calendar page. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go back to my calendar. And then I'm going to switch over to my teammates calendar here and show you what that looks like. Okay, here we are on my teammates calendar, and you can see that they have team demo appearing. You can see this is my calendar. Team demo is up here on the top because I own the calendar. Switching back to my team member, you can see it's over here under my calendars as well, since they can have full edit privileges. Every once in a while you'll see it show up down here if you've given them a different type of access to this. But either way, you and all of your team members are going to add events to each of your days to show how a whole team would maybe work with this. Here's an example of one that I found on the web. This is a team of 3 different people who generally would put their last name, what they teach, and then what the assignment is. If you have multiple periods, maybe you want to add that in there as well. So the way you would do that is simply click on the day, add the title. So I'm going to go ahead and say Kelsey, and this is for my tech period 1, and I'm going to say study for test. That's their homework. And now here's the trick. I need to go down here where it's choosing which calendar to post this onto. And I'm going to choose Team Demo. If I leave it on the other one, it's going to post it on my private calendar that nobody can see. So remember, I wanted to make sure it's on my Team Demo. I'm going to go ahead and save, and that'll appear. I'm going to flip over to my teammates calendar here. And you can see here, it appeared for that teammate, which is me. And I'm going to add a second one. I'm going to pretend this is another teammate. And let's say that's tech period 3. and there's no homework. Again, go down here, click on this, and make sure that you're choosing the correct calendar. And choose the team demo, hit save. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my actual website so you can see what this would look like when it's embedded in the actual website. I'm going to click over here to the website. Over here on the right side, I want my calendar to go right in this area. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this little message. And I'm going to click over here on the right side where it says Insert Calendar, and you'll see it gives me a list of all my calendars. You can see a lot of these are Google Classroom calendars, and I'm going to look for Demo Class. Yeah, where to go here? I'm going to go ahead and insert that. See, it pops up over here, and I'm going to move this around, resize it, and I actually like the agenda view. I think it just looks a little bit better. And they'll pop up, and you can see this is the calendar that they'll see. Now, you can, of course, go in here and make some adjustments. If you want the title shown, the date, how do you want the navigation buttons to show? For the most part, you want all of these things. I like the agenda view to be the initial view because it gives you sort of that list. If you want the month view, this is kind of what it will look like. You'll see you can only get a few things to show up here. Again, I prefer the agenda view to be the one that students will see first, and I think it works best for parents and students to see.